Hello everyone and welcome back. In this very specific tutorial, I've come up with a very interesting topic for you people, and that's about introduction. How to introduce yourself. Well, this topic might seem basic for most of the viewers, but I personally feel this is a very essential topic, and the topic of introduction is incredibly important. Why? Because you introduce yourself in a new place, and that's your first impression, and your first impression is always really very important. So how to make it profound and how to make it excellent, let's go ahead. In this very specific tutorial, I'll be sharing some information with you people. First, while introducing yourself, you got to be very interesting, because you introduce yourself in a new place. It could be an English classroom, it could be at a party, it could be at a job interview, it could be at a new job, it could be at a formal place or informal place. Now, introduction varies as well. Introduction varies from place to place. Introduction depends on your audience. At times you don't need introduction. Why? Because your audience know you already. But at times you need introduction. So that introduction has to be interesting. Wherever you go to a new place, wherever you're asked for introduction, or wherever you think that introducing yourself is important, first thing you have to keep in mind is to sound interesting. And how to sound interesting, that depends on you, to make your voice tone very energetic, to use proper body language, right? The next one, and that is to be short while you introduce yourself. Now, don't make your audience bored with your introduction. Don't go for that prolonged introduction. Be concise and be precise with your introduction. Only describe the important information which is required according to that context. So, first point was to be interesting. Second point is to be short, concise and precise. And the third one is to not speak much about yourself. To not speak much about yourself. Now, introduction, how to go for your introduction, obviously that has proper structure and you need to go according to that proper structure. And as I mentioned earlier, that introduction varies from place to place. If you're introducing yourself in a formal place, at your job interview or at your new job or to your new colleagues, right? So according to the context, according to that specific situation and a specific scenery, right? You need to introduce yourself. Well, for me, being an English language instructor, most of the time I get perplexed and I get confused as well when it comes to my introduction. Why? Because most of the time I experience big crowd. Most of the time I go for some big events in front of, introducing yourself in front of a big crowd could be confusing, and it could be, quite difficult task. So for that, you need to have a pre-written introduction. A pre-written introduction will actually give you more energy and will give you more confidence while you are going for your introduction. So let's move ahead towards the structure of introduction. First is greetings. Now that greetings could be formal and informal. If that is formal, so you can start with hello. Now, hello could be used at formal places as well and informal places as well, but it would be better to use hello in formal places. Now, you can not go only with hello, you can go with good morning, you can go with good afternoon or good evening, but not good night. Because good night is actually used as goodbye and that ends the conversation. So hello, good morning, good evening and good afternoon, these could be used in your greeting and formal greeting, right? Where when it comes to informal ones, so in informal ones you can start with hi, hey and what's up. Well, not WhatsApp, what's up, yeah. WhatsApp is an app actually, so that's WhatsApp, right? Well, moving ahead towards the next part, and that is your name. Now, your name. And most of the people, they use the very common and very formal phrase, which is my name is Abdul Sabur, right? But you got to go with some different ways to introduce yourself. It could be, this is me, Abdul Sabur, or it's me, Abdul Sabur, or I am Abdul Sabur, right? The phrase which is very common, my name is Abdul Sabur, so you have to avoid that. Well, the third one is location. Now, where are you from? After your name, you need to go with where are you from. Now, I live in a multicultural city, Peshawar. Now, I live in Peshawar where people are there from different countries, from different cities, from different culture. So whenever I introduce myself, so I say I'm originally from Afghanistan, or I'm basically from Afghanistan, but I was born and raised in Peshawar. Now, if you are from Pakistan, so you can say I'm from Pakistan, from Peshawar, right? But if you've moved from any other country, so you can say, actually, I am from Afghanistan and I moved to Pakistan way back 2005 or way back 2004, right? Okay, now the next one is company. Now, company is very important as well. If you are having a job and you work in a company, so you can talk about your company. For instance, where I work, the organization that I work, so I work at the University of Spoken English, an English department, as an English language teacher. I teach English language as a second language for my students. Alright, the next one, and that is qualification. Now, while talking about your qualification, so it depends what you're actually doing. For example, if you're not a graduated student, so you can say, I'm about to graduate, or you can mention that respective field you're studying. For instance, I'm doing my BS English, or you can say, I'm studying BS English or BS Computer Science, right? Or if you've done your bachelor's, so you can say, I've done my bachelor's in English linguistics, or I've done my MPhil, or I've done my PhD. This is how you talk about the qualification. And moving ahead towards the next part, and that's the last part, which is experience. Now, talking about your experience is very important, because when you are introducing yourself at a job interview, or when you're introducing yourself at a new job, right, and there you talk about your experience, so you can share your experience. For example, I worked as a teacher for 8 years, or I have a big experience in sales, or I work as a manager at this company. Well, that's it about introduction, and I hope you found this video very interesting. You can add some more parts as well, such as your fun facts in your introduction. You can add about your hobbies as well, in order to make it interesting. But as I said at the beginning, that you need to make your introduction concise and precise. So it actually depends where you're introducing yourself, right? So you can go with that exact information which is required. For example, for job interview, you need to be very concise with your name, with your from, with your qualification, with your previous working experience, and that's it, right? So it depends where you're introducing yourself, and according to that you have to go with these structures, right? All right, I hope you found it interesting. I'll see you in the next videos. For the time being, have a great time and stay blessed and stay happy.